Tell
Hi
me.
everyone, thank you for joining us once again on another live webinar. And this time we bring to you an effective immigration law site for your law firm. And I want to say today, joining us, we have basically myself, Mike from My Legal Software. We have Jessica from My Legal Software, and as well Nabazena from My Legal Software. You want to say hi, guys?
Hi everyone, pleasure to be here.
Hi everyone. I'm excited to have another discussion that's hopefully going to be insightful and helpful for everyone.
Well, I think it's going to be really entertaining today because today we have Attorney Gehi, one of the legal law tech influencers, going to be joining us in a bit. I hope it doesn't take too long, but let's kick things off. So creating an effective immigration law website, is really crucial for attracting potential clients. And, that's where you establish trust and provide valuable information. And I mean, we do have some key elements to consider when designing such a website. And with you being in the industry for quite some time, Jessica, what would you suggest as being a clear and engaging homepage?
All right, so that's a very, very nice question, Mo. So when you're creating a website and you want to really communicate your services, your credibility, your reputation, you have to make sure that it's clean, it's straightforward, and that you have the right representation, like visually, in terms of content and in terms of keywords. Everything should be there. And of course, at the end of it all, there has to be a very clear call to action. This is something that a lot of law firms today are, they're undermining. It's something they don't find important, but it's the one that's actually bringing the business in.
No, definitely. And I think one of the most useful call to action button for me is usually a text service because I don't have the time to actually sit on the phone and wait for an attorney to speak to me. I just want to send a text message via an instant messaging app or WhatsApp and get my answers. That's what I want. Can you help me? Yes or no? It's that simple. Not to wait for reception to tell you, okay, the attorney is not in. Can you call back tomorrow? So on and so on. No. It's a simple call to action, instant messaging service. You can respond to your client immediately, and that's what I love. And going through many websites and what we've created for many of the other clients that we do have, user-friendly navigation. And that's one of the biggest key factors, I would say, when it comes to a website. What are your takes on that, Jessica?
Of course, it is very, very quintessential to have a user-friendly website. And the thing here is there's a lot of trend in terms of design, in terms of flow that has evolved throughout 10, 20 years. If you look at websites from 10 years ago to 5 years ago to just this year, you will see the difference. And in terms of navigation, it has to always be updated. It has to always consider the journey when someone's browsing your site, especially if it's their first time. So it has to have descriptive labels, it has to have the FAQ, and a lot of the buttons should be distinct, or else, you could lose a customer or a client that's already browsing your site because, they just got lost from your website simply because it's not user-friendly.
No, most definitely. And I see Attorney Gehi has joined us. And as I mentioned, he is a legal tech influencer in the industry. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Gehi.
Thank you. And firstly, it's a pleasure being on the show. And I'm just talking based upon my personal experiences. And at the end of the day, my disclaimer very clear that I am an attorney with Gehi & Associates, and also I am the founder of My Legal Software. So at the end of the day, the disclosure is important for me, and any statements that I'm making are based upon my personal experiences, and there's no kind of compulsion for anyone to kind of basically follow my statements if they don't feel appropriate. So it's just a warranty issue, which I want to make it clear. So now, folks, as far as I'm very particular about the law. Always try to make sure that I comply by it fully. So what is a website? A website today is your face value. And the team of My Legal Software built Gay and Associates website. And what is important here is for people to know that your website is your face value in the market today. Your website talks about, like, even if you have those 3 or 4 pages, it talks about how well you're dressed, whether you're dressed to impress. And if your site is similar to someone else's site, means you're the same as someone else. First thing is stand out on your website. Rule number 1. Because I've seen 2 types of lawyers. Ones are those who barely take an interest in the website, and they sit and wonder why they're not getting business. So imagine you're going for a party, and when you go to the party, and the man with the tuxedo there is getting all this fame and everything, and he's getting these compliments, and you are there, and you know the problem, but you're not taking an interest. It's not in the money. It's your mindset that is telling you, oh, why do I need a new website? Because remember, technology is changing. And can you wear the same shirt for 20 years? Just think about it. The answer is no. So generally, my recommendation is change your website every 2 years, after a year. If you're really in that kind of phase, wherein you want to grow your business, my personal recommendation is change your website. Secondly, Google algorithm keeps changing. And Google is the biggest kind of dominant person in the market. And most lawyers don't understand this, that the controller today, believe it or not, is Google. And what happens, the website that you built yesterday, which means a year ago, has a different algorithm than what Google wants you to have today. And if you want to check it out, very simple. You can talk to My Legal Software. They'll give you a free copy of the standing of your website. And if your score is below 90, means you're not performing well on Google. Straight, simple. Means they'll also give you a red line. Sometimes you see this, right, when you get this on your email, that be careful, don't go to this website. That's a red flag that you're not doing the right thing in Google. Importance of a good site. Secondly, lawyers ask, oh my God, I have this great website, and how come I'm not getting enough clients? You need to know what is SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. You should know basically building what is backlinks, which I'm sure most lawyers don't know. You should know what is exactly a meta tag and how the whole game comes together. You should know what is white hat technology in Google. Because if you don't know white hat, you're not going to come up. And your media guy is just going to give you the runaround and tell you, this is happening, that's happening. Other than that, you should also know how to keep your website updated. One of the most important factors immigration law firms miss. And secondly, someone asked me, Mr. Gay, you practice immigration, and the thing is that there'll be competition with me. I was laughing, I was saying, listen, there's enough business out there. And secondly, if you are located in Texas, when someone else, you're only winning. You're only benefiting from our expertise, because that client is not going to see us. And secondly, if a client comes to me, we can take him. We have enough clients at Gay and Associates today. We are blessed. So we get thousands of inquiries, in a month. And, we are doing phenomenally well. But what did we do is we made sure that we had a good design from our website. MLS designed it. Then people have to also understand that branding can take you a long way. Now you have this client over there, and he speaks Arabic, for example. He's on your website. He should be able to understand that website in Arabic for you. Your translate should be excellent. And most sites don't even have a translator. Doesn't matter even if you're a personal injury lawyer or whether you're practicing law, in a different way. Secondly, what lawyers should know about UI UX. Half of them don't even know what is UI UX. That is known as user interface on the front end and user experience. Because an average person who comes on your website is not going to spend more than 2 to 3 minutes. That too, if he likes you. Because you did not display the information properly on the site. Take an example about an immigration lawyer. And that lawyer practices on E2 visas. But By the time you found the information, it was on the 20th line of your page and you didn't have time. So this is exactly what UI UX means. And at MLS, there are people who will talk to you and they'll tell you what are the top things you need, how they should be displayed. And it's a science. Your website is one of the biggest sciences you'll ever encounter. Other than that, you have to also know about some other important things. But your website can be hacked. Very important issue. Whether you have a proper web security in place, whether you have the right people to maintain your website. If you want to come up, whether you're investing enough time or hiring a company that knows about immigration law, that's critically important. So you hired someone who says, wow, I'm writing this article for you. The world knows about that article. What's the use? You're not going to stand out on Google, folks. You're not standing out anywhere. Your Instagram presence should be marvelous. Your Facebook should be excellent. And at the same time, you have to make sure that you tweet. So Google recognizes those things. And another thing you need to know about websites, which people don't even know, is to see that exactly whether my website, the contact form is perfect. And how many inquiries I'm getting on my website through my contact form. Critically important. That tells you that you're doing something. Are you doing enough webinars to promote yourself? Again, the website can play a key role. But the first thing people are going to do, they're going to click on your website. They're going to click on your website. They're going to click on your website. And sometimes people feel that I'm working with a social media guru and he's telling me, you came up. How many clients did you see in your office? That's the controlling thing. They'll give all the reports and all. Of course, it takes a good 3 months to settle the game. Do not expect overnight miracles. But after 3 months, you're not seeing any results. Means there's something wrong, because everyone wants to call themselves as an expert in this game, believe it or not. But there are a handful of people who know it, because lawyers have to understand that the industry knowledge, which means someone who knows about immigration industry, has to actually work with the technical team. It's like a marriage. The marriage is between the technical people and the legal people who know about law of technology. That's how websites are built in the legal profession. That's how business comes into lawyers. Because right now, you're dealing with a person who just knows about the technical side, but does he know what is a substantial investment under the E2 visa program? The answer is no. So you're losing out on SEO. Look at how things come into play. If you're dealing with removal defense, did cancellation of removal come up in any of your blogs? Did asylum come into any of your blogs? Did past persecution come into your blogs? Look at the pointers, folks. This is what Google looks at. Very intelligent program. When your crawler comes into Google, they're going to see whether you're standing out in the market. That is an actual side, folks. So now I'm going to leave, the podium to Mike and to Jessica and to Daba Zaina for any questions. Mike, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do for you, Attorney Gehi. After the revamp of your website, what has been the biggest game changer for you on your website, especially with your CTA button?
Okay, number one is the branding was brilliant, because people look at the quality of the site of gehilaw.com and the ease in which they could find the information, which is the most difficult thing. Thirdly, what I liked is that people could just go on my site and they could get in touch with the firm. And that is something I liked very much about what was developed. And of course, what I also liked was that the brand managers that worked in, and they understood branding. And in half the companies, even in the past, when I've gotten my site developed, I seen a big difference in the branding. Yes. But can anyone guarantee that exactly you're going to get this much traffic? If someone is guaranteeing you, he is lying to you. But at least a good web development company, what they'll do for you, They'll make sure that you look beautiful on Facebook, you look great on Instagram, and that's where the brand masters come in. That's what I liked about, my legal software.
Well, that is fantastic to hear.
And
I'm
straight,
sure
it's
Jesse
straight
will
up.
have his
Like, you know
own
what?
as well.
Give straight answers. There's no hiding, there's nothing, and the proof is always in the pudding.
Oh, that is fabulous to hear. And one of the key features on your website that I could notice as well, I mean, we did it for Gay and Associates. And I mean, we made it outstanding. You know, we created the attorney profile. We had some client testimonials thrown in over there, educational content. And I think educational content is one of the biggest factors when it comes to our website. Because
Mubin, that only happens when you have someone from the legal side working with you from the technical side. It's, as I said, it's a real marriage, because the key is when I look at 85% of the websites, I'm talking about personal injury law firms, immigration firms, general practice law firms, the information is not displayed properly. And even if you Google it, an average user will not spend more than 2 or 3 minutes on your site. Either catch attention. Take an example about a personal injury lawyer. He's too good in construction accidents in New York under Section 240. Is he really displaying that on the front page? And with due respect, if you're going to be overly cheap in developing a site, you're not doing justice to yourself. That one client can pay for your website. That one client can pay for your entire website. And half the time what I see is, Jessica, is copycat website. That same guy is doing the same site for someone else. That can become a crawler issue. Like, same content is copied. It's not the right way of how things should work.
That is correct. Jessica, do you want to touch points on what Mr. Attorney Gay had just mentioned now?
Yes, so I very much agree to what Mr. Gehi mentioned, that you have to stand out. And in the digital space, there's just a lot of noise. And if you don't, marry the science with the art, and you probably, you look good, but then you're not doing the analytics, you're not looking at the numbers, and your Facebook and your Instagram is not saying the same story, it's going to be a waste. So this is like a whole ecosystem. It's a bigger plan than what you think it is, and that's the best way to succeed on this. Because if although most law firms and lawyers would have websites now, most of them would say, I'm getting the wrong lead, or I'm not getting the right inquiry. So that's the problem. You can't just have a website. It has to be optimized. It has to be updated. It has to be compliant. There's a lot to a website, right?
Very well said. Very well said. Now, there's something else I want to point out to new lawyers about some terms which apply in the digital space and in the in the social media sector. Number one, SEO means what happens is that when someone Googles you, you come up automatically. You're not spending money on Google. Digital means you're spending money, and Google is getting you up. Now, but the thing is that even when you spend on digital, doesn't mean that Google is going to get you up all the time. Because Google has thousands of clients, so they take it by turn to see. And plus, it's a bidding war on Google. The more you bid, the higher you're going to get. Because it's like sitting in a casino and bid. And either the thing is that for immigration lawyers, you have to be very careful when you bid on Google. Because it can really kind of, wash your wallet away within days. You can file bankruptcy within days. Be careful. Rule number one. Secondly, that's why you need talented people who can manage your budget on Google and make sure this is your Google spending. But there are other ways, that is, I think you can reach out to them in person. They can tell you what would be the most effective way for you to spend. And spending is important, and making sure that basically, for example, you also need to make sure that your website is ADA compliant, which not many immigration lawyers know. One of the biggest mistakes. And someone says, what is that? When you get fined, when you get a lawsuit, unfortunately, you'll know that you're going to spend $20,000 just because your website was not ADA compliant. And the guy who built a website, oh, I didn't know about it. I don't know what's ADA. He's going to run away. That's the first guy who's going to run away, and you're going to pay the penalty. You all need to read, everyone needs to read about the importance of an ADA compliant website. So ADA is Americans with Disabilities Act. And for example, if a visually impaired person comes on your site, and after that, if you cannot read your site properly, you're looking at trouble. And there are tools that are given to them. And through those tools, you have to make sure that when they look at it, they should be able to read it properly. And a lot of immigration attorney websites are not compliant under the ADA. And for people who don't know about it, just Google and see how many of these particular kind of, companies have been sued over the years under the Americans with Disabilities Act. That is critically important for every lawyer to know. Second thing is redundant content on your website. Immigration attorney, Miami, Florida. Immigration attorney, so-and-so. Google can really penalize you for that. Trust me. You're putting it on every page. You only know. But because the skills of your social media expert are outdated, Google knows everything, folks. They will make sure that the crawlers look at it, they detect it, they'll give you a chance to correct it. If you don't correct it, you go down again. These are things that you need to know about search engine optimization. It's an art, it's a science, and you have to know what is technical SEO, which is very, very different than content-related SEO. Then you have to know how to meta tag, how to build backlinks. Very, very important. So I know this may be sounding like Latin and Greek to lawyers, but this is what I do. This is what I study. And this is just one portion of my knowledge in social media. But other than that, I can discuss law of office technology at length. Length is not the word. I can talk to you about any area of what exactly law of technology actually entails. From the digital end, someone told me I spent so much money on Google, on sponsored ads. I spent so much money on GMB, that's Google My Business. I spent so much money on Google Verified. All right. And I didn't get enough leads. What is that, Jessica? Google Verified, or it's a different word? Google, you know what I'm talking about, right? The one on Google on top. Is it Google Verified, or what is that? Google Screen. Screen. Sorry. See, it comes to me. So you all have to know the difference about spending on Google Screen, when you should spend on Google Screen, when you need to spend on Google My Business, and you have to know when you have to spend on sponsored ads. It's a science. It is an absolute science. And secondly, you should also know when you do spend on those chaser ads. I use layman's terms. Chaser ads are those ads that keep following you. That's my term which I use. So it's a whole 9-yard thing to understand these things. And for every type of law firm, it's a different thing. Now, for example, if I'm a personal injury law firm, I would go for the chaser ads. You know why? But this guy is typing accident lawyer. You should come up in front of him. Right up. That is the art of marketing. Someone put an E2 visa, and most of your clients are from an E2 country like the UK. You should come up right in front of them. That's why you chase ads. It's exactly knowing how to switch gears in social media. And if you're a good juggler, you're good in social media. If you're not a good juggler, you're going to fail the entire test. This is social media, folks. This is social media, folks. Am I shaking you up today? Jessica, am I shaking you up today?
I was going to ask you, you answered it already. Like literally all the questions you answered. Now I was going to ask you. And now I'm like stunned. I don't have any questions for you because, I mean, we've created something that's so phenomenal for your company, for Gay and Associates, for My Legal Software. We handle your marketing. We handle all your back-end work for your SEO. And I mean, and as you mentioned, you are doing very well. Gay and Associates.
We have 19,000 clients we have serviced over the years. 19,000 clients in the firm.
There you go. There you go. I mean, what more can I add in? What more can I offer to all the attorneys watching out there? There we have Attorney Gay.
And we can ethically put that on Gay and Associates website. And as I said, I'm speaking on behalf of Associates. MYLS is an independent entity, folks. There is no compulsion for you guys to go for it. But as I said, I'm speaking on behalf of Gay and Associates of what I felt about this. But of course, remember, folks, another thing, And to my wonderful immigration lawyers friends who are watching this, please do not expect overnight miracles. It's not going to happen, folks. These things take a good 3 or 4 months to actually trick in. And if you have patience, but one good thing can happen for you right away in a month, a beautiful website and a beautiful branding, and that can by itself get you your clients in the door. And another thing which I tell people, what I like about My Legal Software, it's a one-stop platform for me. So they have solutions. Now look at this other solution they have in the software is that thanks to the team that they came up with this for me, because it's a big company and while there are many other people working. So anytime if you want, through the immigration software from there, you can get good reviews from your good clients. So your biggest problem of people writing negative reviews gets offset by good reviews. That is found in the case management program in My Legal Software. That is absolutely brilliant. And the forms are amazing. The user interface is easy. There's a calendar for removal defense, which I haven't seen anywhere. There's a calendar for asylum cases. You have every kind of report. You have Zoom integration. You have Google Meet integration. You have texting features. Your world-class reports. Everything is there. That it's only that one thing is that My Legal Software is a school. It's an academia. It's perfect for big law firms, mid-sized law firms, and for new law firms. That's what it is. It's a full company servicing immigration lawyers and personal injury lawyers.
Well, you actually, like I said, you covered all the points. I was going to bring up software, you brought it up. I was going to bring up SEO, you brought it up. So all the questions I had directed towards you, you basically given.
This is all from my experience of what I'm saying, but people need to try it on their own. And there are, prior results, as they said, do not guarantee future outcome. So end of the day, the proof is always in the pudding when you try for it. But remember, it's a time game. It's not something, it's not an overnight miracle.
No, most definitely.
By the way, let's put it this way, for people who can check it up. Our new website was on 3 months ago. Look at the massive difference in traffic.
Yeah, and just to touch notes on the software. So to the attorneys that are currently using our software, I hope you noticed that we have updated the system. There should be a new look, a new dashboard. Everything has changed.
And thank you for introducing the new AI. It is brilliant and we love it. The artificial intelligence part of it, it's really good in the forms when the forms are getting auto-populated. And I think the tips that are coming up to you that what you're missing, those little tips go a long way in the software. And this is the new version which just came out. I think brilliant job by the team. I think it just launched when, last week or when?
Actually, it was on Monday we did the official launch. We did the trial. I think we gave you
the new version of the legal software is amazing. The new one that just came out. This just came out last week. We're taking a look, and it's going to be like something that people are going to love for sure.
Oh, that is fabulous to hear, and I really appreciate the response from you. So, Jessica, just back to you for a bit, right? We just want to run through a quick checklist, if that's okay with you. I mean, Attorney Gehi has answered majority of the questions, and I think we have a lot of viewers actually joining us now. So, just to touch base.
No, I think what people need to do, Mike, people need to really look at the website. Simple. The proof will be in the pudding, and they'll say, wow, is this an immigration site? That's how websites are built. Because there's a saying, the proof is always in the pudding. And let them go to the current website. They'll see a vast difference because branding managers actually play a key role. And half the time, when websites are built, there is no brand manager in the site. You don't have a UI expert. You don't have a UX expert. That's why what happens when you go with a novice, he'll just say, okay, you want a site? The website. He doesn't know how to kind of basically, put the puzzle together. There's a science behind the puzzle. You're a lawyer who's practicing deportation defense. You're a lawyer who's practicing, employment-based immigration. So the first question should be, what is your highlighted area? Do you know about AAO? Oh, yes, Administrative Appeals Office. What is BIA? Board of Immigration Appeals. How many of these companies are asking you those questions? So the way a website works is your top 5 skills should strike the eye of the person. You got your first client, you made around 10,000 straight up there. Straight up. On one client I'm talking about, straight up there. But if you miss that, bye-bye, you're somewhere else.
Oh, that is good to know. So,
Let me come
Mr.
over that. I've seen this lawyer. Second thing on the website, folks, which I forgot to mention. How soon can you get in touch with the lawyer? Yeah, the lawyer should come up right there. That's a website. So you're not losing out on anything. Because if you don't take it, your competitor is going to take the client in your neighborhood. And there's one good thing about immigration that I'm talking to you from experience. Most clients come from your neighborhood where you are. So there's no competition. People are not going to travel 100 miles and steal your business. It doesn't work like this. Most of them are always looking for lawyers in the neighborhood. And, therefore, people think that, am I competing with another firm? The answer is no. There's a lot of immigration business out there. But you should know how to capture it. And that's the bigger art. That's effective marketing and having the right website and having the right legal software.
Thank you for that, Attorney Gehi. And to all the attorneys, friends watching out there, Attorney Gehi has inspired us so much that I feel like doing a treat for all of you that are watching and actually need our services. I would offer you, let's just say, the first 10 people to reach out to us in the next 2 hours. I would do a website for you, a basic website at $599 once off. And that's a steal right now. And I would offer you a case management software enabled for 2 users, free for 2 months. That's going to be a deal that's going to stand for 2 hours only. And once 2 hours have passed from the time this webinar ends, that deal is off the table. How does that sound to you, everybody that's out there watching? Jessica, how about you?
Yeah, that you can't find that anywhere now. Like if you look at the credible web developers who actually does the work, that's a very, very good deal. And guys, this is just for the first 10. So if I were you, reach out to us. We're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. And you could also check our website, mylegalsoftware.com, sign up and grab it. It's just the first 10, guys.
But there's one thing I want to mention here, Mike, as I said, I'm speaking on behalf of Gain Associates today, completely exact. I'm going to make it very clear. I'm not involved in the talk at all from My Legal Software. I'm just speaking as a speaker on behalf of Gain Associates. One other thing for lawyers, leaving My Legal Software aside completely. And if you're working with anyone, remember one thing. As lawyers, very high regard for all our immigration lawyers who are here. And because for me, everyone is a friend. I'm a very friendly person, love to work with everyone. And I'm sure you all might have seen that I got the Super Lawyers Award and I've bagged many awards in immigration and from the state of New York too. The reason that happens is one of my secrets of right now, I have close to 100 people working for me. More than 40 lawyers working for me. So how did I do that? I can get all the business in my door. But are you managing that business properly? That's the harder part. And for that, a great case management software, plus the right team is very, very important. And I can also lecture you if needed. I love to talk about how to have the right players working for you and how to grow your business. So it's a complete kind of mix of technology and the right manpower to grow a business, and the right knowledge of law, which means, integrating the right legal research school tools to make sure that you know the law from the back of head. And I'm a big fan of AILA when it comes to immigration, the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Plus, there are a few others that I look upon very highly to make sure that I'm using the right mix to grow my practice. Take an example, you got 25 clients, and they want to file an asylum. Now, what do most of those lawyers do? Big mistake. Because they are so stressed, they'll just finish up the 589 form and mail it out. Why? They don't have the right manpower. Look at the real problem, I know that. Secondly, end of the day, you got the money, and now you're going to be up sleepless nights because your individual hearing is coming up, your master's coming up, and you're not ready with the written pleading. That is absolute mismanagement. How do you organize that? Number one, a good software should be able to pull out the template for you. Secondly, you should believe in hiring virtual staff, MILS can provide you that. And this is not virtual staff which MILS has, who are kind of basically novices. They have lawyers working here. Then other than that, what you need to do is to make sure that your software tracks your deadline and has a tracker before the individual hearing, before the call-up date. Same thing about the master calendar hearing, a month before that, to make sure that exactly until you don't mail it out, your software should not stop. That's exactly, and if you have an H-1B deadline, you're battling with the April 1st deadline, your software should not stop. Tell you, hey, you have these 35 cases you need to mail out, otherwise you're in shit trouble. That's important. The H-1B cap I'm talking about. You have an RFE deadline. The tracker should be fine. Your client who's trying to bother you all the time, the software should say, I'm so sorry, I cannot take your call. Text me if you want. These little things go a long way, folks. It saves you a lot of time. A client is calling you 100 times. Your secretary is telling, please take the call. You're wasting your time. Technology can help you to not even take calls at times. At times, I mean. You can cut down your calls by 65%. Proven facts from me. And that is my analysis. So results do not guarantee future outcome. That's my disclaimer. But it depends on whether it's working smart or you're not working smart. That is the power of technology. Thank you, folks. My time is up. And I think Zaina and I have to leave. But I believe Jessica and Mike will continue. Zaina is from Gehi & Associates. And we want you all to know that we both are from there. And feel free to do your own thing. And we are not guaranteeing anything. We are not saying anything. It's up to basically the user to understand that if they're comfortable, they need to move forward. Thank you. And Mike, I hope you had a great session here. And Jessica, thank you. And thank you for the team for putting it together.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Gehi. Thank you, Zaina, for joining us. Really appreciate it.
And you guys may continue. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, Jessica, I think it was a fabulous session. I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time. To the attorneys out there watching, friends, colleagues, and people who work with us, people who are using our services. I know they love to hear us talk. So do you just want to recap on some of the guidelines that they would require when going into a immigration website? I know we did cover the likes of clear and engaging a homepage. We did cover that. We did an interface that's user-friendly for navigation. I think we covered comprehensive services. Attorney Gehi had covered most of it on that. So educational content, I know this is your strong point, the educational content, because that's where you educate your potential clients. What would be your takes on that?
Yeah, so when you're trying to make content, you're not just supposed to, talk about how you were founded, who are the lawyers. Of course, these are very important details. However, you should also add more relevance to your target client so that they will understand you more. They will understand your capacity, your credibility, and the knowledge, the experience. So it doesn't stop with, describing who you are, what you do, but also on what types of cases you've already won. But of course, you have to consider the privacy of there are clients here that you must not reach any of those. But at the same time, you have to communicate what you have done and what else you can do with your practice. And also it helps with SEO, keywords. Google loves keywords. Other search engines also love keywords. So in anything you do, you should also be mindful of these things. However, we also know that as lawyers, you guys are already busy with so much things to do. So this is something that we could cover for you. And sometimes some lawyers would want to, own the process of creating, and we're okay with that. We will come in as editors. And some lawyers would really just not have that enough bandwidth to create. So we can create. those content for them. And that's something that we offer at My Legal Software, not just, the web development side of it, but also, the chunk that comes along with the website.
No, that is wonderful to hear. So to everyone out there listening, I mean, Jessica has made some fabulous points, as well as Attorney Katie. And, there's so much we can talk about. There's so much we can go on about. It's just one thing that I want to sum up for you guys. And Jessica will be the one to sum it up for you all. And I think this would be just the last question that we would take, or I would ask. And Attorney Katie did mention it about SEO, but I would say a strong SEO optimization. What would that entail for a website and for your firm?
Yes, so the best thing or the biggest challenge that any website in existence has to endure is to be found. So if you're not being found, why are you even there? You're like this house, this building that doesn't have the right signage. You don't have the right indicators that says like, hey, there's a law firm inside here. So you have to be found, and that's what SEO is for. And there's a lot to SEO now than there is 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Back then, you just, need to write a few things, and then Google's gonna find you, and then that's it. Now, with a lot of noise, you have to stand out, and you have to find your niche. You have to find the right keywords for the exact expertise of your practice. You can't chase two rabbits. You have to keep chasing just one and nailing it. So that is the biggest challenge for SEO. And one thing that's always overlooked is optimizing it from the inside, making sure that all your website errors are handled properly. Like when someone browses and then gets an error and it's not handled properly, Google's gonna say, I don't like this website. I'm not gonna give it to more people looking for it. So there's a lot to it. Like really, it looks simple, it looks straightforward, but there's a lot of technicalities inside it. And that's something that we at My Legal Software can take care for you. And if you do want to be technical about it, we could also explain that part as long as they give us the time and they book a demo with us.
Yeah, book a demo. That's one of the key factors. And just one more thing on the note. There's a lot of startup attorneys in the markets and in the law industry. And ROI is the key for you guys. How are you going to be making money? What's your return on investment? How much are you going to spend? Right now, with all the market research that we have done with My Legal Software and with other competitors out there, a basic 3-page website is going to cost you $1,500 to $2,000, and that's excluding a case management software. Like I mentioned, for the next 2 hours, the first 10 to actually reach out to us with a sign up or contact me will receive a 3-page website, a basic website with branding, with their logos designed for them for $599, and it's going to include 2 months free usage of the new updated case management software by My Legal Software. And if you need to find us, I mean, look behind me, it says mylegalsoftware.com or 934 LawTech. Just call. It'll either be myself, Jessica, Shamondre, or Christina that would answer that phone, and we will get through to you ASAP. We will get you started, we will get you on your feet, and we would, let's just say, once you have that website, you will start gaining traction in the market, and people will start finding you. And that's where I want to leave it for now. Jessica, your final words before we leave?
Yes, so I know to some people, investing on a website might be too big for them. We could help them with their Google My Business profile. We could help them optimize their social media platforms. We could start with the baby steps. So if you think it's too big for you to do the website now, we could still have the conversation. It can happen next year. We could start preparing now. But if you're ready and you really want to have your website or you need a revamp, we can get you your first draft in 7 days or less. So guys, I suggest you book a demo now, you schedule a call with us, and let's get this ball rolling and let's get your business development up a notch and get your business and your legal practice to the right client.
Okay, you just made me really excited right now. by actually amping me up for this. So let's just say to whoever is ready, we will tailor make something for you, a package for you. No matter, you just tell us what is your budget and we will work according to your budget. Let's do that for you guys. So I would say get diving, and if there's any questions, guys, before we leave, to my back-end team, are there any questions for us? Yes, no, doesn't seem like it at this particular moment. So I want to say thank you to everyone that has joined us, and we hope to see you guys in the next 2 weeks. And stay tuned. We're gonna be, I think we'll keep with digital and social media, or would you like to cover software next? Maybe get them to come in and try the software. Well, whatever it is, I want to say thank you to all the panelists that have been here, and especially Jessica and the backend team. Fabulous job for hosting the webinar. Once again, thank you so much. Have a fabulous afternoon. Take care, guys. Bye.